You know that feeling when you walk into a room and you just know something is off? It's not magic, it's not a superpower, it's a state of mind that's just always on, always scanning, always processing. So today, let's really dive into this internal experience that so many of us recognize but find so hard to put into words.
It's like you're an observer in your own life, right? You're not just living in the moment, you're constantly analyzing it, deconstructing it, and probably filing it away for review later. It's that nonstop scanning of nonverbal cues, tiny changes in someone's tone of voice, or those silences that seem to hold an entire universe of meaning.
So, to really get inside what this feels like, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to eavesdrop on the conversation that's happening inside the hyper-aware mind. It's a dialogue between two really powerful and often competing voices. First, we're going to hear from what we'll call the mind. You know, that restless, analytical part that feels this intense awareness as a constant, heavy burden. And then we'll hear from the inner voice, that calm, grounding perspective that sees this whole thing not as a flaw, but as a highly developed skill. Let's start with the mind. Okay, so first up, the voice of the mind. This is the part of you that feels like it's running a marathon that never ever seems to end. I am just exhausted, even after a day of sitting perfectly still. Why? Because while one half of me is trying to participate in life, smiling, nodding, holding a coffee cup, the other half is taking notes, comparing every little detail and analyzing everything. It's a nonstop process that just never lets up. And this is the engine room, the default mode network. Now, for most people, this thing is supposed to kick in when you're resting or daydreaming. But for me, oh no, it is always on. It's the reason I can't stop replaying conversations from 3 days ago. It's why I'm analyzing the exact reasons someone paused for 2 seconds before they complimented my shirt. I'm just stuck, constantly second-guessing my own thoughts and feelings. And this is the trap I live in and day out. For example, I'll drink a coffee and my heart will beat a little faster. A totally normal person thinks, oh, that's the caffeine. But my brain, it flips through its entire database and screams, fast heartbeat equals danger, panic attack incoming. And this brutal loop turns my own body into a constant stream of emergency alerts. I'm just trapped on high alert, even when absolutely nothing is wrong. Wow, that's a pretty powerful case from the mind, right? But now let's completely shift perspectives. Let's hear from the inner voice, which sees all of this not as a malfunction, but as a finely tuned instrument. What you're calling a burden, I actually see as an incredible adaptation. You see, this deep awareness usually comes from one of two places. For some of us, it's an inborn trait called sensory processing sensitivity, which just means your nervous system is built with an ultra-fine filter, absorbing more detail, more nuance, more everything from the world. But for others, it's a learned skill, hypervigilance, a survival radar you built, piece by piece, to navigate unpredictable emotional environments. This isn't a flaw. It's a unique form of intelligence. Some psychologists even have a name for it, traumatic intelligence. It's simply a mind that was sharpened by necessity. You didn't just learn to read books. You had to learn to read people, to read rooms, to read silences, because your well-being once depended on it. You are not broken. You are a survivor. And this sharpness, well, it comes with these incredible, often invisible strengths. You can sense the tension in a room before a single word is spoken. You are so deeply attuned to the needs of others, sometimes even before they are. And while other people might freeze under pressure, you become calm and strategic. These are not flaws. They are the hallmarks of a mind that had to grow up fast, and it did. Okay, so we've heard two very different perspectives. The restless mind that sees a burden, and the inner voice that sees a skill. The big question is, how do we integrate them? How do we go from just understanding this trait to actually living with it in a healthier way? Now, the goal here isn't to somehow turn off this awareness. I mean, you can't, right? You can't ask someone with perfect vision to just see the world as blurry. The real shift is in your relationship with what you see. It's all about learning how to observe the world without feeling responsible for fixing it or carrying it. And here are 3 principles to start practicing that shift. First, observe, don't absorb. That coworker who walked past you without smiling, maybe they just have a headache. Second, feel, don't fix. Anxiety can show up. You can just notice it as a sensation without needing to immediately analyze it away. And third, see, don't solve. You might see someone's insecurities so clearly, but you don't have to become their therapist.
Clarity is a gift, but only when it comes with boundaries. This, right here, is the core transformation we're talking about. You can't turn off the light in your mind, but you can change its quality. You can shift it from being this sharp, critical laser that scans for every single flaw in yourself and others, and turn it into a warm candle. One that is still bright enough to see the world with absolute clarity, but gentle enough to illuminate it with compassion.
You see, when you make this shift, your awareness doesn't just disappear. It matures. You still see things deeply, but you no longer feel pulled into the current of every single emotion in the room. You finally learn to understand life instead of feeling like you're imprisoned by it.
So please remember this. The perceptiveness you carry, the deep empathy you extend, the way you analyze the world, these aren't just random quirks. They are the architecture of a mind that adapted to survive. The depth you carry is not a flaw. It is a gift, just waiting for your own compassionate understanding.
And that leaves us with one final, big question. Your mind was sharpened by your experiences, teaching you to see all the hidden layers of the world. The question is no longer, how did I get here? The question now is, what will you choose to do with the incredible intelligence you built along the way?